Hola, hola, this is Armel with TWIG Talks, and today we have Bianca Aubin as my guest, which delights me. Hello, Bianca.
Hello, hola, and salut.
Everyone, you're going to be discovering a new profession you probably never heard about for Bianca, and I'm so excited. Bianca, you came here to be a teacher, an English teacher 8 years ago. You were coming for a very short mission. You are still here 8 years later. What happened?
Well, yeah, it's funny because originally I wasn't planning to come at all. I was living in Philadelphia. I was an English teacher at the time, teaching in a language school. And the funny thing is we have a connection because I'm here because a friend from France moved here about 20 years ago, raised a family, lived here, and she found me on Facebook and she said, "Hey, I see you're an English teacher. What do you think about coming to Guadalajara for a year? I'll handle your visa. You can live with me and the kids. Let's see how you like it." And I thought, "Okay, let me give it a try."
So you
And yeah,
came.
I came and with a few bags, and little did I know that 8 years later I would still be here. Who knew?
You also changed your profession. You are no longer an English teacher. What do you do now that is very unique?
Well, I specialize. A lot of people don't know this even exists, but I'm an accent coach. So there are two things about that. Some people know, oh, they understand that in the movies, actors, they can put on accents, and that's called dialect coaching, right? So if it's stage and screen, if it's for actors or broadcasters, we call it dialect coaching. But anybody can work with an accent coach. For example, if you want a better job and you feel like you're having some bias or prejudice and you'd like to
Mhm.
be able to speak differently, that's a choice that you might make, right? Some people just don't feel comfortable, so they come to an accent coach for various reasons.
This is wonderful. So let's take an example of someone like me who has a very strong French accent forever. You will be able to transform my accent.
Well, you would be able to, and I would guide you. First I would ask, well, what's your motivation? Because there's no need to change your accent. Accents are wonderful unless there's comprehension problems. So as long as people are understanding you, there's no need to change your accent unless you want to. And then what we would do is we would first say, "Hey, can you hear the difference between these sounds?" Number 1. Number 2, let me explain it. Does it make sense to you logically? Oh, I just put my tongue in the front. Oh, I need to round my lips, right? There are certain mechanics, and we say, "Okay, here's the formula for this sound. Does it make sense to you? Does the knowledge make sense? Can you hear the difference? Does it make sense?" And then last is we do some muscle memory training, right? We do some drills. We have a lot of correction when you make a mistake, and the neurons, they'll form and they'll make those connections. So when you want, you can change.
So where are your clients? Do you have actors as clients? Where are your clients? All here locals around the world?
Well, some are actors. So I don't call myself a dialect coach, but I do work with actors whose first language is not English. And so
That's
those,
big famous we should know.
yes, but I can't disclose those. I can't say their names. So it can be actors who it's very strange because a lot of actors have no problem saying, "Oh yes, I'm taking singing lessons." Of course, right? Acrobatics or, think yoga or whatever. But they feel there's still this shame around how we speak. And it's really too bad because no one should have any shame around that as long as you're understood. But actors don't like to admit that they've had accent training for whatever reason. So they prefer not to be mentioned. But other than that, I think it's just as or more important to help anybody who wants to support their family, anybody who wants to fit in better, who wants to just feel more confident and speak more clearly. So I think those are the real unsung heroes, I think, of my clients, and
Well,
they're everywhere, right? All of my stuff is online, so anybody can join from literally anywhere.
that is wonderful. And now you are here for 8 years, so you know Guadalajara very well. And you chose 3 questions for yourself so we can discover Guadalajara through your eyes. Let's start. Bianca, how did moving to Guadalajara change your lifestyle and your rhythm?
I think it partly had to do with the job and also through COVID, actually, because let me start that over. When I was in Philadelphia, before I came, I was working at a language school. So I had set hours. I was in traffic all the time, rush hour, back and forth. And it was a very,
That.
yeah, it was a big city life. The funny thing is, Philadelphia and Guadalajara, they have about the same size of population, but the lifestyle here for me changed. First, when I started working at a traditional school, it was a high school. And so I had a shift in time. I was getting up earlier and then I was getting out earlier too. Already that was different. And for me, then when COVID hit and I started working for myself, accent coaching, full time, then of course I was making my own hours, and I continued to do that even when, normal life resumed. So I feel like the pace of life is different if you're working for yourself, kind of no matter where it is. But there's
Definitely.
something also that's really been affecting me, is that in the usually during the time of day, because I can now make my own schedule, I really try to stay inside from maybe 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. because the UV rays are so strong, and I just feel like I'm a rotisserie chicken outside.
I do agree with that. It's a very wise decision to decide when to go out according to the temperature, the heat, and the sun. It's wonderful to have all this sun, but it's better to look at it through the window during. Your question number two is, what is your secret Guadalajara place that most people don't know about?
When you say most people, I think we mean tourists, because
Tourists, yes,
tourists
people.
have a limited amount of time, so they're going to see what they consider the highlights, right? They're going to go to Chapultepec, they're going to go to Centro, they're going to go to Americana, and if they have more time, maybe Tlaquepaque, right? So there's a lot of really hidden colonias or neighborhoods that people might not know, and one of them some people know is, if you go, do you know the Centro of Zapopan where the basilica is?
Absolutely, I go often. We were there like 2 weeks ago with my spouse.
Oh, it's great. And you can walk around, right? They have a lot of things on the weekend. There's all kind of a corridor that leads you right there. Lots of
Yeah,
great.
love the Mass Museum, yes.
Exactly. And so I can take the train there. I live there by subway line number 3, super fast to get to. And one thing you can do is, between Zapopan Centro and my house, if I'm walking back, if I start at the Basilica, I walk about 2 blocks, then I'm entering a neighborhood called, do you know the name of it?
Seattle?
Yes, which is really funny, I think, because the name, it sounds like it's in English,
Yes,
but
you
it's
feel like
not.
you're in the US, Colonia Seattle. And
Right.
it's very charming. Tell me more about why you love it so much.
I wouldn't say it's Americanized, not like Americano or Providencia, but it's a funny name. So when you go there, it's, at least in this way, when you come from the Basilica, you're walking, you're on tree-lined streets, but not even streets. It's what we call a linear park. So it's between the streets, and you've got a lot of shade because the trees are there. You've got benches to sit down. You'll see people walking their dogs,
We had a
buying something
few
to
dinners
drink.
there at a restaurant we really like with live music at Enora, I believe.
Inor is the name of it. Yeah, exactly. And if you're walking from Zapopan Centro towards my house, it's about 2 blocks. You'll see Enora. Right next to that, you have a place called Via de Patos, which sells kind of organic things and kind of hard to find interesting things. Maybe you've got a supplement you're looking for, or you're looking for, yogurt that's made in house, something like that. So that's right next door. And if you just keep walking along that street, the name is Aurelio Ortega, then you just keep walking and have a lovely little stroll. You can even, get your keys made down there. There's a coffee shop I love also called Aurelia, because it's on the street of
Mhm.
Aurelia. And so it's a great mix of kind of like up and coming shops and things, with also that same kind of hometown neighborhood feel.
You make me want to go again, and you made me realize it was so close from the central of Zapopan, which I didn't know it was 2 blocks away. So, for your question number three, what is the recommendation you will give visitors that most people don't tell them?
If you're moving here and you're thinking like, oh, I'm going to retire there, or maybe spend a year or a few months, I would say nobody tells you this, or maybe they do and you don't take it seriously enough, but you really need to just change your mindset and just change the gears and slow down and say, you know what? It's not about time and schedules, and we don't make lots of plans in advance. And you might have 3 different plans for Saturday, and you won't even choose until Saturday, because here it's what's important is not, it's not the time, it's not, is the bus on time, it's the event,
I
right?
don't the bus.
Not gonna happen, not gonna happen. And if you think you're gonna get some documents done at a government building, and you've got all your papers ready, and you think
Two
it's gonna be
days.
done at least 2 days, right? So just enjoy the moment, be present, and relax, and remember that it's time is not important here. What matters is the event. It's the people. So talk to the people in line next to you. Just have a good time.
Thank you so much, Bianca. So we have reached our time. And before saying goodbye, is there one last thing you would like to share with the audience?
Yeah, sure. I'm glad that you brought up the idea of what I do for work, and the fact that I'm here, I'm an expat here, and there's a lot of people here who are coming from various places. And some people, they might think, oh yeah, I wonder what accent coaching is like. Well, if anybody wants to join, every month I have a free masterclass on the last Thursday of the month. And if it's Guadalajara time, it's 8 a.m. And you can also get the replay, of course. But we always have a free masterclass. For example, we're recording this and people are going to watch this in November. So as an example, if you think about English, the final S sound, if it's something plural, right? Like cups versus mugs, they're both letter S, but they're pronounced differently. And also when we have verbs, right? So we can say helps, but we say washes. And so knowing when to make those sounds can be really difficult for anybody. So if you want to work on your pronunciation, you can just join.
Masterclass. And we're going to put it on the screen so everybody can contact you and see how it is to work with you and how you can make them even bigger by expanding their ability with their language and accent. It's been a pleasure to have you, Bianca. Sadly, we have to say goodbye, but you're welcome anytime. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. And speaking of which, I have a podcast as well. So make sure that you're a guest on my podcast.
And I'm going to be on the podcast in October. I can't wait. Everybody else, please stay tuned. We are going to go over the 5 things you cannot miss this week in Guadalajara. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye. The 5 events we recommend not missing this week are: number 1, Dracula, the Opera Ballet. This is kicking off October, the season of Halloween and everything scary in Guadalajara. And oh my God, there's going to be about more than 40 events happening through the month to keep you excited on your seat. It's coming in our next week guide. You don't want to miss it. Just go to our editorials and get the TWIG Halloween. It will be at Teatro Galerias on Saturday. Number 2, for the very first time in Guadalajara, the jury experience and immersive court case. Wow, you better know very good Spanish. You're going to be immersed. It's going to be both this Saturday in November 7th at the Teatro Charlie Chaplin, and you are going to see a full court case, and right in front of you, you will be able to vote, to be like a jury. That sounds super cool. Number 3, Yoga, Ecology, and Health Expo at the Guadalajara Expo. It is both on Saturday and Sunday. It is free, and if I was here this weekend, I will definitively attend. Number 4, still in the same theme of Halloween and the thrill of October, the Phobic Fest. It's free. It is both on Friday and Saturday at the Zuno House. Finally, Foro Larva, this cultural center that we love, is celebrating 16 years, and they are doing it by hosting the Vinyl Fest. Vinyls is what tapatias love. They use all records. You will have DJs and all those old records you can buy and collect. You will have amazing stands. Do not miss it. It is both on Saturday and Sunday. This week, we have launched our most popular issue, the Dia de los Muertos Ultimate Guide. You won't believe, starting October 7th till the end of November, so many things are happening to celebrate the Day of the Dead in Guadalajara. And we have them all in our Ultimate Guide to save you time, so you don't miss the important parades. You don't miss the little gem nobody knows about. You beat the crowd. You get tickets before it's too late. Do not miss this issue. You will find more than 50 things happening this weekend in our TWIG event calendar. And we will see you next week for another podcast, another interview, and all the wonder of living in Guadalajara. Have a great weekend.